Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We are two sisters in fiber, friends in fiber. We keep changing our intro and it's never the same. This is episode 140 and we're going to talk about fiber crafting from the middle of the Canadian prairies from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'm Jocelyn, my co-host is
Diana.
And I'm already off on a roll. Guys, I'm even more discombobulated than usual for that. That was the bad intro. Oh, okay, I've been smoother. Listen, we got our first internet complaint that we talk too much and we need to do more knitting. So I crocheted all week. Oh, okay, sure.
Shall I go over what we're going to cover this week?
Yep.
What do we got? We've got some What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Spinning Yarns, Yarn on the Go, Wool Gathering, a review. Oh, I totally forgot to ask you about literature.
Yes, always. When don't I have books?
Okay, well, I'll add to those notes when we get there.
I don't make the show notes. I do the editing.
I know. I have one job.
It's okay. I have many and I do all of them poorly, so it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Oh, goodness.
My one job has many parts.
My one job has many parts.
Cup.
Cup?
Cup!
Yeah, that's what you put tea in.
I've had no caffeine today. It's going well.
You could have asked. I would have made you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but I wanted blueberry tea.
That's fair.
I have, oh, you can even see the color on the camera. My goodness, it's so bright. I have blueberry cream tea from Tea Desire, and it reminds me of Christmas in my childhood because I loved blueberry candy canes. So I know blueberry is supposed to be like a summery flavor, but it's a Christmas flavor, and don't at me.
That's fine. I never had candy canes till like a couple of years ago. One of my exes had found corn-free candy canes.
Ooh.
So I tried candy canes. Because I don't have any childhood associations with them.
Honestly, candy canes are kind of
Okay. We always used to have them decorating the Christmas tree and stuff. I just never ate them because I couldn't. So I didn't understand that they were candy. I just thought you put them on the tree. Whatever.
I don't understand the popcorn chains that I've never actually seen them decorating a tree, but I've seen them in like traditional Christmas cartoons or whatever.
I would be really nauseated if I had to make one of those, because the smell of popcorn nauseates me.
I don't know.
But I can see the appeal to it.
I don't get putting popcorn on a tree.
It'd be very rustic.
I'd rather just eat the popcorn.
That's fair. I have no interest in eating popcorn whatsoever.
What's in your cup?
Figure. I am drinking a cup of holiday stash tea in the cinnamon vanilla variety because I caved and started listening to Christmas music this morning. In fact, I was listening to Christmas music when Diana got here.
I can confirm. Christmas music was had.
All morning.
I have been Christmased.
Whatever. It's the end of November. I can listen to Christmas music now.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not the stint I used to do when I worked retail, and it's definitely not the stint I did last year in university. Second last year in university? Must have been like my second last year in university. I did a history of Christmas course, and me and one of my close university girlfriends at the time, we did Christmas music from September till after Christmas. No breaks. We hardcored that. I was so done. So done with Christmas music. But I mean, we had extensive Christmas music playlists. Extensive.
I think that's the only way you can do it. If you get stuck on the retail loop that's like the same 40 songs all the time.
The retail loop is sort of out of everyone's hands. It just depends on what the companies and head management people want. I got lucky the last several years I was in retail, like big retail, not the small retail stores. In big retail, I was at management level, so I would always sneak additional CDs in. Come on, you guys. That's got to be a perk of being a manager. If there's a CD system, it's got to be able to sneak in additional Christmas music. It was always on theme. Only the Christmas music got snuck in. But I know some places don't get an option for it. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me. And I find a lot of the songs quite... I find them relaxing. Which is probably not a word associated with Christmas music.
I think they're supposed to be, but so many of them have been so overplayed and have stressful memories associated that they're just kind of, we've all collectively decided, ugh, Christmas music.
No, I think it's more hype than anything else. We get to a certain age and we're taught that we're supposed to hate Christmas music, that it's overplayed, that it's overdone, that everybody hates it. I don't think it's actually the Christmas music. I think people are just conditioned that way.
People just want to be grouchy.
They just want to be grouchy, and they get to be grouchy about Christmas music.
They turn into Grinches.
They do. Well, you think about it. We watch the same phenomenon every bloody time it snows. People forget how to drive. Guys, we live in a province where half the year there's snow on the ground.
Historically.
Yeah.
Less so this year.
But you know what? What happens every time it snows if there's been no snow?
Nobody remembers how to drive. There's a million accidents.
And everybody complains that, oh no, there's snow on the ground. But come February, nope, not a problem. 3 inches of snowfall, nobody cares. Like, what? No. We've just been conditioned that you get to complain, and if you don't, you're weird.
You're too cheerful otherwise.
Yeah. Like, what? Huh?
Interesting. Okay. Well, I will
just
make it my mission in life to be cheerful at things now.
Take the psychology training out of it and you'll be fine. Your life will be far less stressful. Words of Jocelyn advice. This is how I came to enjoy Monday mornings. I didn't look at them as this dreary thing as, oh no, Monday mornings.
You just gotta have something to look forward to.
It's a start of a week. It's a whole new week right in front of you. Whole new week. Imagine all the things you can get done in a week. So much. So cool. But Sunday evenings, I'm kind of meh about. I'm like, Sunday evenings.
But they're so cozy and chill.
Nope. No, I just find them boring and dull.
Yeah.
Boring and dull. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to be online playing games. It's just like, ugh, you guys all suck. I want to do something. And everyone's like, but it's relax time. I'm like, relax when you're dead. Let's go. I don't have 70 years to waste. Let's get in motion. Okay. I'm only going to be able to play video games for like, what, maybe another 5-10 years? Maybe?
Alright.
Didn't think I was going to be able to keep reading. Hello, audiobooks. Technology to the rescue. Anyway, that's my blabber, my intro babble. Whatever. It happens every time, guys. Just let go. Don't care. Don't be grumpy.
Let it go.
Just don't sing the Frozen song, because that also irritates people for some reason. I don't know why. It's just a song. And you bet your keister if you see me on the side of the road, I am singing that hippopotamus for Christmas song happily. Dang it. Because it brings me great joy. I'm singing it in my head now.
Me too. Okay, moving along quickly before that's stuck there for days. What cool threads have you been wearing this week?
Oh, just my Find Your Fave and your mittens. That seems to be the rotation right now. I'm super into it. It looks amazing with my winter coat. So why wouldn't I? Also, I haven't woven in the ends for the Twin It Up shawl. I finished way earlier in the year, so not wearing that one yet.
Uh-huh.
I'm so bad at weaving in ends. Hey, Diana.
Uh-huh.
What have you been wearing?
I have been wearing all of the hats this week as I sit here not wearing a hat. That is the, I listed them all because I have a whole 3 that I can't remember. The Lindsay
slouch.
The Lindsay slouch, the Sockhead slouch, and the Katie hat.
Yeah.
And my now ubiquitous Rivers wrap. I have even been wearing it indoors when the HVAC system can't make up its mind whether it wants to blow hot or cold. I just wear it all the time. It's my thing.
It's your piece de resistance.
It's becoming a signature piece.
Oh, apparently. All right. Cool beans.
Woolly Workings. I have 3 things. You guys, I have 2 finished objects.
I casted on like everything this week.
2 finished objects. Just everybody take a moment. I finished something. 2 somethings.
2 somethings.
I even kept one of the 2 somethings. I
think that's the bigger deal. That's so.
I only gave away one of the finished things.
Oh my god! You need to stop doing that. Watch as she madcaps next week or 2, because you have less than 20 days to get your Christmas gifts done for the craft club.
I can do it.
You were so pulling like an all-nighter on the Thursday before, aren't you?
No, I'm making small and quick things.
Oh, good.
So I have every confidence. I'm going to start working on them tonight, though.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah.
Since like everybody else is at weaving in ends or over halfway done stage.
They're going to be very small and very cute.
Well, it's not like we do big things. We've all done small things.
Yeah, people aren't getting pairs of mittens this year. They're going to be... It's going to be smaller.
This is pairs of mittens. You would have had to start way sooner if you were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
mittens again. Alright, I have way more than 3.
You want to start then?
Probably. I'm not lying, guys. Like, I picked up every single crochet project I could find this week. I was on a crochet kick. It was what was catching my attention, and I got really mad at the sweaters. So, I'll talk about the thing I'm currently working on, which is my niece's sweater. I've already told her she's probably getting a Christmas card with a picture of a sweater, because it won't be done. And she said that's fine.
It's good when knitworthy people are very understanding when things aren't done on time.
It's not... I don't stress these sorts of things. There's no point to it. Because I've got other things I want to work on. And at this point, I have had to start this sweater, 5 times?
Oh, goodness.
Which is not the sweater's fault. It's my fault. That doesn't mean I don't want to just huck it in a corner and forget it exists. I'm not. I'm still working on it. But it's a thing. So I am making a flax light pullover for my niece. For the record, she is a size adult medium. She's 13 years old now. You're not a child. So this is not a small endeavor. It's a fingering weight sweater in a size medium. Which is fine. Because I want to do some fingering weight sweaters at my size. And I am not a medium by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm working on it out of some Manos del Uruguay Algria yarn. In some ice-searing pink. It's really, really pink. It's supposed to be worked in the round from the start. But guess what? I started in the flat with my ribbing, which I messed up, so it's broken ribbing. We meant to do that.
Definitely. It's a design feature.
Sure. It's going to be that way at the cuffs and the end of the hem anyway, so it's totally fine. And I'm currently working on it in flat because I keep having a problem with the garter bump detail on the raglan shoulders, which again, not the pattern's fault, it's the human's fault for not paying attention to what she's doing. So, nobody blame but myself. So this was going to be my Nano Swimo. Super failed that this month. Woohoo!
Still have a week.
Note to self, can't do 2+ readathons, NaNoWriMo, Nano Swimo, and get a bunch of stuff, work done, related done. You don't have enough time in the day, Jocelyn. Don't do that to yourself next year. What? Crazy. So I'm not at the end of the road, but I will show you guys here real quick what we're talking about. When I say pink, I mean pink.
It hurts my eyes.
It's so pink. So I'm almost to the point now where I could connect it in the round. I've got enough of the pattern established that I shouldn't, screw it up anymore. But I'll do several more rounds. I've done like 6 rows on this, guys. Like, there's next to nothing done. I've got a ways to go before I'm done the front piece. So I will continue to putter on that and get as much of it done as I can when I'm sitting and waiting for things to happen. So I have not made any mistakes yet, and I will have a small seam up one shoulder side to do. Oh no. The tragedy. The horror.
A seam.
A seam!
Ugh.
Notice I do my seaming, but I don't weave in my ends. Just something wrong with me. And I suppose because I have 50 billion topics, I gotta keep going. Should I leave all of the crochet to the end so that when we flip, we've just flipped?
You can do it however you like.
Oh man, I have choices! Okay, so we started the dental work to fix my face. That sounded awkward. I had to, if you've been listening or watching for a little bit, you'll notice there was a hole in the front of my face. If you've been watching or listening for a while, you'll notice there was a hole in the front of my face in May. I ran afoul a piece of bacon. It wasn't even a crunchy piece of bacon. Lost my front tooth. I'm still not eating bacon. Like, I'm still traumatized.
It's okay. My dad lost a chunk of tooth to a piece of bologna once.
Okay, he doesn't eat bologna, does he?
No.
No, because
Now that you pointed out.
The bologna was rude. And I'm still not eating bacon, which is fine. I shouldn't be eating bacon anyway. It's not good for you. So I had to start the long process to get it fixed again. So first time around, we did a quick fix, and it was either going to work or not work. And it didn't work, and that's fine. I'll take a shot at a $300 repair before the $2,000 repair, because odds were moderately okay. So now we got to do the $2,000 repair on the same tooth. Guess what? I I can eat now. It's fine. Dentist appointment was on Tuesday. It was 2 hours. That's how long he worked on my face. So, Diana got the "why does my face hurt" texts for the rest of the week. So I still have to be very careful. Like, if you see me grimace, it's because my teeth have accidentally clinked, and I still cannot clink my front teeth together. So long as I'm careful when I'm eating, it's fine. And I can now brush my teeth because I couldn't do that for the first 24 hours. Go figure, when somebody does extensive cleaning and messing around in your gums and your face get mad. Gums and your face get mad. Also, froze me good. I could feel the tip of my nose, but I couldn't feel like the bridge of my nose and a good chunk of my cheekbones. And my lip looked like a small fist had just punched it repetitively. It's just fat on the one side. Looked like a baby had clocked me, like, whoa, in the face. So, my mom asked the important questions. No, I did not drool. The dentist is fine. He has a ridiculous name. I will make fun of him forever for it, but he's a good dentist. And I got a lot of progress done on my sock.
Oh, wow, that's a lot
I'm
of
pretty
sock.
much at a heel. So I'm going to my next one, because I've got 2 more I got to go back for. At least those are only an hour long each. Thank God. Thank God. Oh. I got to make sure my heel's done, so when I go back, I might have a finished sock by the 20th of December via dentist appointments, but it's fine. This is my Jack sock. I have been working on it slowly but steadily, because I can. I'm doing it one at a time, toe up, mostly because this makes it easier as a travel mitt to only have the one sock on a go at a time. I'm going to do that garter heel again, because my God, I am loving that squishy garter heel. It feels so nice in the back of my shoes while I'm walking. Oh, it feels so good. So hardcore convert to a garter stitch heel. And then my Jack colorway was from Sew Into Knitting, which was my early Christmas present.
I believe so, yes.
Yes. I was like, did you get this for Christmas or the bag for... No, you got this for me for Christmas, and I got the Jack bag. So, Diana's Christmas sock that I'm making is turning out lovely.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And I love how these little micro stripes are going. So pretty. So that work on that continues. So I'm going to try to put the heel in this week if I can. Though if I'm honest, I've got time. I'll end up putting in the heel like the day before the next appointment. Which is the expensive one. I drop like $800 next time I see the dentist. I've already dropped nearly $500. $2,000 by the time I'm done, folks. $2,000. It blows.
But hey, not being in pain.
Well, it didn't hurt. It was just weird. And then I was very self-conscious. You saw me when I was done. Like, I didn't want to smile. Yeah. Yeah, and I would always, like, be covering my mouth because I was very uncomfortable with it. And then, of course, people were like, do you know your front tooth's missing? Look at it. It was charged with assault. I punch people so bad. It's so rude.
I hadn't noticed this gaping hole in my mouth.
Thank you. Like, what is wrong with people?
Thanks for pointing it out and reminding me of this thing.
It's like looking at me and going, hey, do you know you're blind? Like, what is wrong with you? I am aware of my visual impairment. Thank you. Oh my God. I had one lady the other day who was like, how do you justify pedicures? They're such an extravagant expenditure. I can't see my toes well enough to do my own toenails. That is how I justify pedicures. Why would I risk injuring myself when I can just go to someone and they can do it at far less risk of injury? I cannot see my toes.
Did pedicures even need justification beyond I wanted it?
Well, they didn't before I started going blind, because they'd be like, why did you do pedicures? Why wouldn't you? Only crazy people don't do pedicures. Only crazy people.
I think I've had one pedicure ever.
Ugh. Ugh. You live in a first-class world. What are you doing with your life?
Not getting manicures or pedicures ever in my life, apparently.
Ugh, you were just a waste of an adult. We need to fix that. You go, and if you do it on a regular basis, you only got to go every 6 weeks. It's like getting your hair trimmed on a timely schedule. It's just something you do. But you know what's even better?
People trim their hair? What? No, I'm kidding.
You get your hair trimmed.
Yeah, I do.
Don't even with me. I know you get your hair trimmed more often than I do, which is why it boggles my mind. You go and somebody soaks your fingers and your feet and they take care of it for you, and they just put on a clear polish if you don't want a color. You don't have to get a color. I get clear polish on my nails, on my fingers, and I get funky colors on my toes because, you know, unless it's summer, nobody but me sees them anyway, and my cat. And then you go. And you're done. You go back in 6 weeks, and your feet feel amazing. And your skin's so smooth.
It does sound nice.
Ugh. And you just pamper your feet because you get a little foot massage while you're in there. Ugh. Yeah.
That does sound glorious.
Oh my god. And it's like,
okay, I want that now.
And you treat yourself. You get a cup of coffee. You can chat with the ladies. If some ladies don't speak English, that's fine. You can listen to your audiobook. You can do a podcast. I happen to write blog posts because I'm bored and I don't always get manicures, but I always get pedicures. And you just go and it's just, done. Yeah, it's just one of those things people should do. Men too, by the way. Men. Just do it. My goal for 2020 is to convert my dad.
Good luck with that.
Well, he hates doing it. He finds it annoying to have to remember, and it bugs him when his feet are dry. If you go every 6 weeks, I don't have dry feet. I don't have stinky feet. I don't have unkept feet. I don't have toenails that are cutting holes in my socks. I don't have any of those problems. I just, now I can say my justification is I'm going blind. Guys, I've been doing it since I was in my teens. There was no justification then. I just didn't want to. I wanted to be lazy. I was like, pay somebody else to do this for me, and then all I have to do is sit here and be cool. Done. But I wore gels for years too. Yeah. Because I didn't want to be bothered to take care of nails and have to worry about it, so I just had gel nails. They were always in good condition. And every 6 weeks I'd go in and get them touched up and trimmed down and repaired if one had broken off, and done. I'm lazy, can you guys tell? Alright, when I say I crocheted like everything, I mean I crocheted like everything. If you guys remember from last week, did a hat. A cute little ornament hat. And I was like, oh, I like these hats, and they're quite fun to make. And they use like a super minimal amount of scrap. And boy, do I have worsted weight scrap yarn. So I'm going to make some more hats, right? I made more hats. I now have, what, 4? I have 4 hats. I finished one last week, but I don't remember which one I finished last week. Which is okay. Because I did 3 more. I even did a striped one. Look how cool the striped one is.
I like the stripy one.
So,
those are so sweet.
I just made little pom-poms on the top and little worsted weight ornament hats for trees.
Those are so cute.
I might make some more just because I can, and I find it quite enjoyable to make these little dudes. And these I can just throw into Christmas presents everywhere because it, including the pom-pom creation, is 1.5 episodes of Fairy Tales, so it's less than an hour.
Wow.
Just like I did that math in my brain. So would you like some hats?
Yeah. Yes. Finished objects must go on head.
Finished objects must go on head. And
I
then
don't quite know how to make them stay.
I don't know. They're not really meant to stay because they're meant to be hung on a Christmas tree.
I'm totally a Christmas tree. What are you?
You are not a Christmas tree. You are, in fact, a human. And then, of course, everybody's putting out all of the, quick Christmas gift ideas, which I'm a sucker for because I do love these things. And I've been wanting to make cup cozies. You know those cozies that go around the coffee cup sleeves? Only these are like your personalized ones. But every single one I ran across was too narrow. She's still stacking hats on her head, you guys. I've just moved on to the next thing. We're too narrow for my hand, so I don't know if it's because I have like man hands or something and my hands are too big. Maybe. I've already forgotten I didn't give you the pattern for this one.
Oh.
And it was a thingy. It was a YouTube thingy, I think.
We'll figure out what pattern it was and link it in the show notes.
It's a simple, bulky cup cozy. I have not woven in my ends. See this end just hanging out there doing whatever it wants. I got a bulky thing of loops and threads, thick and quick, in a dark, dark green. It's a dark green. And I was like, cool, how many cup cozies can I make out of one ball of it? 5. I can make 5 cup cozies. And this was 2 knitting podcasts on YouTube. So 2 hours.
It's not bad.
Like 2.5 hours.
There, I've stacked. They're on my shoulders.
If you move, something's falling off.
So
So
I laughed. Okay, fine.
You moved. So what they needed,
Okay, we're done.
what they needed was buttons. And I made these big enough for my hand, which means like whoever I give them to is fine too. Because it goes up a whole, and I had a medium cup size thingy. So I was putting it on to make sure we covered the whole cup. Well, there's nothing worse than you putting it on your hand, but your top of your finger touches or the bottom of your finger touches cup, right? Because you still get burnt. That's crazy. So I did these, but I needed buttons. Diana came to the rescue. Because
Nice.
I don't have stash buttons.
I think my mom got me a whole bunch of like weird stash buttons at one point.
So Diana brought over her weird stash buttons.
This is the bag of like 1 and 2 like nut-shaped buttons.
Yeah, they're really cool. Like they're really nice decorative buttons.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick some buttons after the episode, and and then I will sew them onto the cup cozies. Of course, Diana's gonna get one because she gave me buttons to use. So, and then I only have 4 more to figure out where they're going. I'm sure they'll find homes. I'm not worried about it. And you're thinking, Jocelyn, that's good, right? And then you worked on other things. Yeah, I did. I was watching Debbie of the Canadian Crocheter. That's how she pronounces her channel name. And she was talking about a scarf that she had crocheted. She's a crocheter. And I really liked the scarf. So I tracked it down. I followed it back to Crochet Dreams, which was the lady who did the tutorial for it. And I watched the video tutorial and I started making it. I've made mine a smidge bigger because, well, we all know me. And I'm going to make it longer. So I didn't just randomly have a spare 2 or 3 balls of bulky floating around. I'm actually finally out of bulky. I will fix that next year. I will fix that next year. We will buy some bulky. So I grabbed some chameleon from Loops and Threads. Yeah, Loops and Threads chameleon, which is a 4 worsted. This is a black, gray, white variegated kind of pattern flow. I'm sure it's got a color name. Not that I can read it. Hey, Diana, can you read that?
Storm.
Sure. It goes from black with gray to white with gray. And gray and white in the middle. So I used that. I was like, okay, I need another like worsted weight to hold together to get to that like nice bulky, super bulky that I wanted. So I was like, hey, I've got a bunch of these ice cream big balls. So I pulled out one of my ice cream big balls, which is in this amazing ice cream colored shades of pink, blue, and purple. It looks like a 1940s soda shop.
It is very cute.
So cute. So I held them together, which got me that bulky I wanted. Sorry, I have the hiccups apparently. And then I started this scarf. So I've made a chunk of scarf. I am not so fast that this was an hour and a half. This was like closer to 2 hours work.
This looks so good.
And it looks really great. And I was like, okay. And I had a couple balls of the chameleon. I was like, so this is one whole ball. And I could have just made another ball of it. It'd be fine to be done. But then I'd have a random leftover ball for no reason. So I was like, that's not going to work for me. So I took first half of the second ball and I have made a mitten.
Mitten.
To match. There's no pattern for this mitten. I just made it up as I went. Because that's what I do. So it's half double crochets, and then there's this sort of funny, it's an extra step or two, but you get fake ribbing, because it's crochet ribbing at the bottom for a cuff. So I'm going to make a second mitten out of my last ball. I'm going to get to the right color in the gray and pair it up with the pink from the ice cream ball. Make a second one, and then I was like, I need a hat. So I crocheted a whole hat, and then what am I doing? I hate hats. You guys know I hate hats. I'm not a hat person. Why am I making a hat? It makes no sense. Why would I make a hat?
It makes no sense.
Makes no sense. So I ripped out a 3/4 done hat, and I made a headband.
That's cute.
But I think I need to up it a little. So I've got this leftover white thread, which is going to be important here in a second. And I'm going to do the same headband again, and this one is a Best Friend's Head wrap by Accessorize. I think I got all those words right. So I'm going to make an even bigger one on the bottom in the white, and then I'm going to crochet it together. So I'll have this nice white band going around.
All right.
To make it a bit thicker. It also means it's double thick, which means it'll be useful. Because right now it's really pretty, but not in the environment in where I would be wearing a thingy. And of course, I mean, useless if my hair is down, but great if my hair is up in a half ponytail, which happens a lot. Because then I can stick it under the half ponytail and it stays over my ears.
Yeah.
And if I make it just a little bit wider, I will super fully cover my ears.
Excellent.
Always handy.
It's a good
I
pattern.
can actually hear my alarm, my sister's alarm on her phone going off upstairs. So, I should have another mitten and a scarf finished next week. And the headband. So they're technically not finishes because I've still got some stuff to do with them. But they're not bad. And I've still got more scarf to crochet. But back to the white. Because I know everyone's interested in knowing what happens with that white, right?
We're riveted. We're on the edge of our seats.
You are nowhere near the edge of your seat. I'm sitting beside you on the couch. The edge of the scarf, she has it pom-pommed. I'm like, I like pom-poms on scarves. I don't have a scarf with a pom-pom. Oh, I know what the stress will be. It's time for the teenager to go to D&D. Her D&D will start shortly. So, I made pom-poms, which I will attach to my, well, I'll trim because
they're a little hairy right now.
They're a little all over the place. They're due for a haircut. I will trim and then I will attach to the ends of the scarf when the scarf is done. So I have 2 white pom-poms, which I made out of Charisma Loops and Thread white that I just had. And I have a lot of those because white yarn and Jocelyn. So I made 2 pom-poms. And then I'm going to, they're pretty big.
They're big fun pom-poms.
Big fun pom-poms. And I'm going to throw them onto the end of my scarf when my scarf is done. Alright. I'm not out of stuff. Would you like to go? I have one more thing to talk about.
Sure.
I think one more thing. I think everything else is talked about. Yes, I've talked about everything else. No, I have 2 more things. I lied.
Okay. I can jump in and talk about some finished objects.
Oh, good. I'm going to finish my row.
Okay. Make sure I'm not going to drop stitches off there. Okay.
Technically, I finished 5, 6, 7, 8 things. But they're all little. So I don't think it counts.
It might still count.
Okay.
Last week, I had the brim of a toque for my friend's birthday, which was on Tuesday. I finished the hat and gifted it to her last night. So I don't have the hat to show you, but of course I did take a picture.
You too can deadline knit. We're just not as important as your friends. Feel very...
Well, this was also a bulky knit toque using stuff I had already.
That's fair.
So this was the Northward hat. If I get this closer, will it focus on that and not my face?
I don't know. I'm sure it's great for the audio listeners.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Northward hat by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern. It's a cabled hat. I modified the pattern slightly because the pattern calls for like a 1-inch brim, and I'm like, no, we need like a 4 or 5-inch brim so it can be folded double because it's cold here.
It is cold here.
It also did not call for the giant pom-pom on the top, but my friend loves pom-poms. And so I found, well, I had this pom-pom with the intent that it was going to go on a completely different hat that it wasn't going to work for. So I went on this hat, and she loves the giantness of the pom-pom. What you cannot see in this picture, because the pom-pom is too giant, is that I ran out of the purple 9 rows before the end. So
that might have been because of the 4 or 5-inch brim.
Probably, yes. Had I not done the ridiculous brim, I would have had plenty of yarn. This is Loops and Threads Charisma in dark purple, by the way.
Boy, we're loops and threading it up like crazy this week.
We are.
Holy.
Okay, my arm's getting tired now.
Okay.
Can't see it at all in that picture. Okay, you can sort of see it in this picture. I tried it on. So I was short on the purple, and it seemed ridiculous to go buy another ball for like 2 meters. So I grabbed some of the gray from my glam lamp. So I finished up the decreases of the hat in charcoal, and then I attached a button to the pom-pom so that it can be detached from the hat so the hat can be washed.
This seems like a very smart idea.
Yes. You can even see the cable detail better in that one. Anyway, so it was a very enjoyable knit, and me who never finishes anything finished it in a week. So highly recommend Northward by Tin Can Knits.
Highly recommend having a week-long deadline for a friend who you've been really good friends with for a very long time.
Also, knitting small items in bulky yarn, like zoom!
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 Yeah, so much zoom.
So that was the one that I finished and gave away. Shall I talk about my other finished object that I did not give away?
Yeah, because that's the one I'm super happy.
Okay.
Super happy.
Okay. So do you remember how I've been knitting this thing with my travel yarn for like 2 or 3 years?
3 years. 2 or 3? 3 years.
Actually, I checked. It was 2017.
It's the end of 2019.
I know, but it's still 2 years. Okay, 2.5 years. Anyway.
3 years.
This is backwards. But I finished the Find Your Fade. I finished my fade.
You need to block that bad boy.
I know, this is not blocked. I was so excited that I wove in the ends and I wore it last night.
Yes, absolutely.
But
I'm so happy you finished it. Do you need some help?
Yes, can I give you an end?
You can give me an end. Oh my god, it just keeps going.
It's so massive, and this is.
It is not even grown. This is gonna double in size.
It isn't washed or blocked or anything. It's like a
double.
blanket.
I know. Just wait till it's doubled. It's beautiful. It is so much fun to wear. Oh, my dear, it looks so good.
It's done. The giant project is done.
Oh,
I used
such
5
nice
colors instead of the called for 7.
That's fine. It looks good.
But I have like the right amount of leftovers of each color, so.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you got it all done.
So for actually the last time, I'm gonna go through all of these colors and their travel meanings here. The last time.
Just before Christmas, when we actually have like real snow,
Mm-hmm.
we have to go stand outside in our winter coats with our matching Find Your Fades and get photos.
Yes.
Aha, Instagram lifestyle.
Okay, so the gold is Cinnamon Dolce. From Boss Savannah that I got at Pearlescence Yarns in San Jose when Chris was doing his interview with Google.
Yep.
The pink and brown is Truffle from Hedgehog Fibers, which I got during an 8-hour layover in Dublin. Because, of course, I had to leave the airport and go find a yarn store because I was there for 8 hours.
Yes.
The green and blue with purple speckle is Peacock from Manostil Uruguay,
yeah,
which I got at Woolsey Wool here in the city because it tied the colors together nicely.
Yes, it did.
This blue and green with dark blue and a slight bit of sparkle that absolutely does not pick up on camera and barely picks up in person. This is Ziggy Stardust from I Knit or Die. Die is in color in London. From like the 3rd time I was there. I've been to London a lot of times at this point.
Yes, you have.
I kept my Oyster card. I'm going back. It's happening. And this bit that is sort of rainbowy colored is some yarn that I don't remember the colorway name because I got it in San Francisco the better part of a decade ago. That was the very first time I went to San Francisco. And actually the friend that I knit the hat for was with me on that trip, and she very nicely sat in the yarn store for like 45 minutes while I picked out a skein of yarn.
Decision making is not your strong suit.
No, it's not. But I figured rainbow yarn for San Francisco.
Yes.
So there's my there and back again, all sorts of crazy travel memories scarf.
I'm so excited that you got that done. It was on your wish list to finish this year.
Yes.
Ugh,
it's so big. Pumped. I don't know if I can actually. Oh wait, it's sticking to the bun. There we go.
Good. We're good.
Works. It works.
You didn't put the cup cozies on your head.
Oh, I didn't.
Nope.
Well, too late. This is on my head now.
Falling down on the job.
I finished a thing and I get to keep it.
You do. I'm so happy. So pumped for you.
I'm happy. I'm really excited.
Now,
if
you finish your Celtic Myth, you'll have 2 finished shawls in 1 year.
I don't know if we can handle that. Actually, I finished, I did the Not Allowed to Rain in April this year.
You'd have 3. Who are you?
Finishing things.
Crazy
talk. I don't
talk.
Finish things.
That's ridiculous. What kind of person are you?
Ah! I can't see.
Did you just get attacked by your own shawl?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, cool. You know, that's a thing. Do you want to talk about the project you're currently working on, or do you want me to put my other 2 things in here?
I can keep talking. I gotta put this on somehow.
What are you doing?
Wearing my finished object, damn it.
Okay.
Okay. And I've been continuing to work on my Glam Lamb. I am almost done the back. I got tired of counting the ridges. Yes, I know you can just measure. I frequently don't have a measuring tape on me, or I'm too lazy to go get it from the other rooms, so I've been counting ridges because my gauge was bang on in my gauge swatch. And I finally got smart and added counter stitch markers every 20 rows.
That's fair.
So I know that I have approximately 10 ridges or 20 rows left to get the size that I need.
Ugh, I should really think about picking up my sleeves and getting the ribbing done. You might beat me.
I might. And the blue one there is progress for the week, so not so much, but you know what? I finished 2 things this week, so...
You should have seen it on the Patreon Knit Club. We were all like, finish it!
Man, I got applause when that thing came off the needles. That was the best.
We all hung around for an extra hour and a half to help cheer you through. We weren't letting you go till you were done. We were determined.
Oh, it was great. Everybody should get applause when they cast something off.
Really should.
It was fantastic.
I was like, man, I wish I was casting something off. All I did was make pom-poms.
It's great. And this thing's like a blanket. Like, I'm overheating right now.
Yeah. Block it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is...
Gently block it.
Yeah. This is Loops and Threads Charisma in charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
The sleeves are going to be black.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And it looks rather shapeless right now, especially because I'm in the middle of a row. But I promise it is not shapeless. And it will be so freaking cozy.
It's a cocoon cardigan.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Alright. So I finished enough blanket squares on the crocheted Afghan quilt project that I've been working on, as I've only been putting in the 15 minutes a day. So I finished enough to do another block. So I was like, okay, we need to start sewing these blocks together. So I'm happily sewing a block together, whatever. You know, it's hand sewing a block of crocheted squares. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you sew the blocks together properly. Unlike Jocelyn, who had to undo the finished block because she realized she had 2 squares out of place.
That's right.
Because that's what you do. Were they the last 2 squares? No. They were the first few. And right in the middle. I'm like, of course they are. So in this, it's starting to get a fatter and fatter bag as I collect more yarn for it and I make crochet things. I literally have a bunch of random squares that need to be sewn in. So I have 3 blocks finished and only 1 block sewn. So I can show you the 1 sewn block, which is what they're supposed to look like. But I can't show you the other ones because like I'm still pulling, guys. Like I've still got more going on here. And you can see I've got just a few sewn together.
Oh dear.
Which is awkward, but you know, that's what I had to rip back. Apparently the puppies are in trouble. Must have been barking. So the creating is going about as smoothly as I thought it was going to go. The sewing is going about as roughly as I thought it was going to go. So I'm right on track. This is for the 100-day make-along challenge that WTF Knitting is doing. I did not have any intention of having this blanket done. I was just using the 100 days as of the 1st of November to work on it to get a big chunk of it done. And it's the sewing that's slowing me up, which I knew that. Like, guys, we could have called that before I started. We knew that was going to happen. So each block looks like this. Each block contains 16 3x3 inch squares. And I need to make 25 blocks, plus their matching border pieces to create a bedspread. That's going to look quilted, that's actually crocheted. So cool! I still really enjoy doing this project, so I'm still having fun happily making my squares. I just think the sewing is going to slide farther and farther and farther down. Do I need to make a cut?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I was just thinking about okay to do laundry, but you're doing that. So
Yeah. Oh, I'll let you know when we're done.
Okay.
So, that's fine. Keep working on it. I will get there, and then I'll have a stack of 25 of these that I then have to sew to a border. Guys, the only joy in my life is that when it's done and it's on my bed, I will have so many bragging rights. So much bragging rights coming your way.
Yes.
So many. If I'm super crazy and kind of very dedicated, I might have it in done time for my birthday. It's in March, guys.
I suspect it's still going to wind up with a whole lot of squares that are finished but not sewn together.
Oh, yeah.
This is my prediction.
Oh, yeah. Like, let's be honest, we're lucky I've woven in the ends for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part. I was working out some pattern errors on the pattern that I am creating. I do have final estimates for yardages and stuff. So those things are plugging along, and I am making the first of 2 samples. I got through more of my star flake pattern this week. Or snowflake pattern, I should say. So that's coming along quite nicely. Not as much progress as I wanted there to be. I won't lie. I got distracted with book 6 of the Expanse series, and would just find myself sitting and listening to it with rapt attention, rather than, you know, working while I was knitting, or working while I was listening, which was the point of getting the audiobooks. Because I find the books quite fascinating, so darn good. Otherwise, I would have had that shawl done this week too, so I'd lose a whole 2 hours. I just realized I'd been sitting and listening for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Knitting in my lap, no problem. Just happily listening to the story. Because now I'm attached to all the characters, hey?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to know what goes on. And I'm so heartbroken for some of them and some of the tragedies.
I know. I know exactly what tragedy part you're at, and like, oh, yes.
Just
Oh.
punch me in the feels.
Oh, so many feels.
So many feels. I'm just like, oh, heart-wrenching. Okay. So sad. Great series. Listen to it, read it. Just don't expect to be productive. Now I'm out of things.
Okay.
We've reached a normal Jocelyn level of crafting, haven't we?
I think so, yes.
Cool.
It's because I went and finished things, you had to outcraft me still.
Listen, this happened way before you finished things. This has been a
okay.
week-long extravaganza of, I don't want to work on my sweater, crochet all the things.
Meanwhile, if you just worked on the sweater, it'd be almost done.
Gosh. Yeah, it really would.
Some procrastination, great.
Oh yeah, I'm very productive at creating everything but what I'm supposed to be working on. It's wonderful. Jeepers.
I sort of have one more thing.
Sure.
If we may segue into spinning yarns.
Yeah.
I worked on my spinning at work a little bit this week.
Right, because you discovered you're intermittent.
I am a terrible spinning teacher. I tried. I really tried. It went poorly. But I spun a little bit of my recycled sari silk that I got at the Manitoba Fiber Festival. I'm still in the red section. Get out of there, purple fluff. I'm still in the red section, which has little bits of orange and yellow in it, so it's spinning up and looking very flamey, which I am absolutely loving. I have no idea what this is going to look like when it's done. I have no idea what to make out of it when it's done. But it's going to be one of my prettiest skeins ever, I think. Like, it's just, and it like has a little bit of shine to it, and
Say pretty bowl and just put your smaller trials and fun spinning in the bowl and make it art.
I think so, because it's also only, what, 15 grams?
Well, it also means that, like, if you want to try different types and you have a purpose for them in the end, it's to add to the bowl.
God, the purple stuff. Anyway, so I've got the mostly red chunk, the mostly gold yellow chunk, and the mostly purple chunk.
My nose is, like, still itchy from yesterday.
So, tiny little bit of spinning this week. This is a Scottish drop spindle, by the way. It's called a Jelligan, which is spelled Dealgan because Gaelic.
Because Gaelic.
Gaelic makes even less sense than English. Jelligan, spelled Dealgan.
Have you met medieval English?
Ugh, it's the worst. Alright, there's all of the things.
Makes law contract interesting to read.
Sort of already talked about your yarn on the go.
We did. I was at the dentist for way too long. It's fine. It needed to happen. It needs to happen again.
Teeth are important.
Teeth are important.
This sweater's so big. Oh, okay. Which brings us to wool gathering.
You will feel much better once you're done the sweater.
I feel a lot cooler when I'm done the sweater.
That too. Alright, wool gathering. What are we covering? We're doing stuff. My nose is still itchy from yesterday. I do not have fluff on my nose anymore. Every time I think about it, my nose gets itchy. Whoa. Okay.
Don't think about your itchy nose.
That's not going to help me at all.
I know.
You're so helpful. Not. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know we wanted to. Oh, no, I don't. What do we want to cover? I'm done. I'm thinking about the sandwiches and blood bowl.
So we had our monthly Patreon hangout yesterday. The next one will be on the 21st, which is why I write things down. The 21st of December.
Yes.
Which is the Saturday before Christmas, so hopefully people aren't too crazy busy to join us. Because I'll be helping my husband move to another province after that, so I imagine my Saturday after Christmas is going to be a little bit busy.
I think you guys need to start before that, because your families are both going to be chomping at the bit to spend every single spare moment with you.
No. We're starting, like, this week.
Good plan. Otherwise, you guys are just...
We've already mentally started. We're going to physically start this week. Well, we have physically started looking for apartments.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with the discarding of things that are not moving this week.
Good plan. Now is not the time for me to point out you're going to do that last month, right?
Yeah, it's not the time to point that out.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. Which is great, because it was fun. Everybody who made it, we're just super glad to see you guys. And if you could, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. If you don't know what Patreon is, Diana can send the link to the Patreon down below. It is a space where if you are able to monetarily help the people who are creators that you enjoy, you're able to donate money to them, which allows them to create more or increase their content or sort of just pay for technological upgrades and other things that are going on. So for us this past year, it's helped out a bunch, and the next year it's going to be helping out a bunch as well too. So we super appreciate it. We understand not everybody can, and if you can't, you hit the like button and you leave a comment. You're also super helping us out, and we super appreciate all levels of it. For the Patreon members, they get a don't drop a stitch. They get a monthly knit in with us, and then when we reach certain dollar values, then we're going to be increasing and doing more stuff on the Patreon for everybody. So it's just another way to get a hold of us and talk to us on a community basis that we actually check more regularly than either one of us use Ravelry for, because neither one of us use Ravelry the way we probably should. I certainly don't, because I'm not a forum person.
Neither
like
am
I don't, it's not a format I enjoy, so I'm really hard pressed to interact on that format. I don't enjoy it, but I do enjoy the Patreon thing. Like, I enjoy messaging back and forth, and I enjoy the other things that you can do on Patreon, so I have fun with it, but I am not a Ravelry person. I love the database searching. I have my own personalized highlight feed. I enjoy chunks of it. I'm not a big fan of the forum and things. Which is unfortunate, because, like, there's threads and pages and stuff that we should be better maintaining. There's really no excuse for it. We just don't. Was that all we had for Wool Gathering this month?
I think so. Oh, and the podcast anniversary.
Oh, yes.
The weekly Join Us and Knit a Sweater by Tin Can Knits in January to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of the podcast. Mm-hmm. 3rd anniversary.
Yep, it'll be our 3rd edition. She's having a moment, guys. Doesn't occur to her she's been doing something for this long until it just clicks in every once in a while. You should see her when she realizes when she's getting older. It's delightful.
It's not delightful to me.
Take a moment. I am far older than you are. Deal with it. I can get excited about my birthday. You can too.
Not that I'm not excited. Just like, oh, okay, well, we're there then.
I'll be 37 in March, baby. Woohoo! I'm almost into my 40s. Yeah. Listen, there were bets I wasn't going to make it this far, okay? We're very excited about this. And we got to do something big, because this will be our last birthdays together. Got to go all out. Till I get close to 40, because if I actually manage to save up enough money to Europe, we're going. DEF CON can kiss my butt that year.
I'll make both happen.
Yep. You'll have to figure it out.
I'll make it happen.
I'm not going to Europe without you. That'd be like going to a mall at Christmas time without me. Who would do that? That's just crazy talk. I part crowds like the Red Sea. You always take your Jocelyn.
Always.
Always take your Jocelyn. Yes. With the Patreon, we will be, or Patreon. Derp. My brain is so done for the day. With the 3rd edition of the podcast anniversary, the official start is January the 1st for Tin Can Knits. It's any sweater by Tin Can Knits, as long as it's an adult sweater. If you take longer than 3 months to do a sweater, start now. It's okay. We don't mind. If you want to start on the official date, it will be the 1st of January. I will probably be posting fairly heavily social media-wise on the 1st of January for the cast-on date. I'm not sure. For Diana, it'll depend on No, she will have fallen behind on the packing to get the husband out to
Guaranteed, yeah.
Ontario. So I will be bugging her like crazy to post something.
Uh-huh.
I might carte blanche cache some photographs of your yarn and stuff before so I can just post for you.
That might be easier.
That might be easier, you guys. So we'll do that, and that'll get started up and running, and we'll open up threads and stuff when we have to for that. Do note that there will be changes to the pricing policies for the upcoming year, because I'm not doing this nonsense again next year, and all of that will be listed down in the opening threads for the chatter and stuff. So we are looking forward to seeing what everybody picks to knit.
Oh, stretch.
And no, I don't want to still be working on this flax light. I want to have given it to the niece by then, so I can work on my own sweater.
Good plan.
I think it's a solid plan. But, you know, we know me. We'll see how this goes. Alright. Is that everything?
That's it for wool gathering.
Sweet. I'm thinking I'm going to do Vlogmas, you guys. Diana knows that was crazy.
It was. I couldn't even keep up when we were alternating last year.
I know. I think I'm going to do it by myself this year. If I do, I'll do it on my alternate channel, and I'll get Diana to link it. So if you guys want to watch it, you can. But I like that idea, so I think I enjoy it. So I think I'm going to do it myself this year.
Okay.
Which is crazy talk. Who wants to see my face for 26 days straight? Nobody. Nobody. But that's okay.
Shall we look at a magazine?
Sure, you brought one. I enjoyed the
did.
pictures.
This is the Interweave Knits Winter 2020 edition. This is my subscription. I subscribe to a magazine. A whole one magazine.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I just subscribed to the New York Times.
You're old.
Thanks.
Anytime.
I was used to smoke. What do you want? God, I'm old. Yeah, back when newspaper print was a thing. Hey, I'm pretty social newspapers. Yeah, I know.
Newspapers.
I am old. I listen to CBC in the morning. Like, I understand this, guys. It's fine. I'm comfortable with my old farty ways.
Old. Anyway, magazine. Normally I want to knit everything in the winter edition, and this time I only wanted to knit two things.
This was a stunningly not us winter edition.
Yeah.
They're usually fall and winter are our big hits.
But then I think we're also very much into the traditional, like, Fair Isle and cables, and they went not Fair Isle and cables. So if Fair Isle and cables are not your thing, then you're probably more into this magazine than we are. That said, there are some that we liked quite a lot.
Well, again, I mean, you got some of the ones where I was like, this is cute, but if I did it, it would look awful in my body frame. Not a good plan. I'm also not a man. So I wouldn't knit the men's sweater. I'm just not a man.
Okay, but you did like the Winding Path cowl.
How can you not? It's very cute.
This is a mosaic knit, which looks cool.
It's got, how would you describe that? Obviously, other than Winding Path look, because it's in the title.
Yeah, I don't know, sort of like an overhead view of a maze, I guess.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Those kids' car toy maps, where they have their big floor mats you put on the floor, and then you can drive your little toy cars across them, because they got little roads.
It does look a little bit like that.
Only in monochromatic and more adult-like.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, that's cute! I like it.
It is cute.
Yeah.
And it's mosaic, so that means you only have to do one color at a time.
I always appreciate a good mosaic knit. Having said never having knitted mosaic, it's on my wish list. I think I might make that as part of like my Make 9 for 2020, is a mosaic knit. Like put it on my bingo challenge card for the year and stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of putting these things off. And I'm finding if it's on it's on the challenge card, I do it. So I'm kind of stoked. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Mosaic, color work, a couple of other things I've been putting off.
There was this one that we both liked.
Ooh, yes.
The North Country Ruana. I am unfamiliar with this term. Seems to be a wrappy shawl thing. Anyway, we both super like this. It's vaguely cable-y. I was thinking it would look good in a natural tone tweedy yarn.
I agreed with you.
So we're both super into this, and it will get made on the 5th of Never, probably.
The 5th of Never?
Yep. There was another one from like there was a Rwanda thing from a summer edition a year or so ago.
I currently have all of your magazines because
Yeah,
my
you do.
printer and scanner broke. So
Oh, no.
guess where I am on that project. I have to get them back to you by February so you can pack them.
There's another one of those things that was like it was like ankle length and cables, and it was a red tweed that they'd done the sample in,
Yeah.
and I was all over that. Have I made that yet? No.
Yeah.
Do I still want it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
Right.
we're never gonna die. We always have projects we want to do.
Yep.
Ooh. Anyway, changed. Super segue. I gotta talk to you after the podcast about the sweater thing I want to make. That you got the free pattern for. That we both had the pattern for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Total change, 180 degrees on what I want to do for that.
Okay.
Like I do in planning. Continue. I apologize. I'm interrupted.
Okay, I gotta find page 37. Ah, yes. Okay, this is the one that I liked because it looks vaguely cabley and it's also brioche. It is the marbled brioche scarf.
Ah, yes.
I would probably do it in more contrasty colors than the pink and darker pink than they've done it here.
That's fair.
But I love a brioche and it looks vaguely cabley and I love a good cable. So
It screams Diana.
It screams Diana. So I must make this at some point. I'm kind of excited about that.
It's my last one that I liked that I really wanna make because I liked what we were discussing about for colors for it.
Ah, yes. Here we go.
You need to pull up the pattern photo, like in the pattern section, because that's actually the best photo.
Okay.
Which, poor design choice, people. I was kind of mad about the sweater when I was looking through the photos, and then because I always look through the pattern section at the back, right? And then I saw the picture attached to the pattern, and I was like, this is freaking stunning. Why is that photo not in the front photo? Because that sold it for me.
Okay, if I just count like...
So it's a cardigan.
There we go.
And it's got this amazing kind of retro color work yoke at the top, and then a nice neutral solid color body, and then a wonderful simple collar. And you're like, that's great. Now they show you a nice close-up of the color work, which is appreciated, and you could definitely go retro 80s, 70s, 60s. Like you could make yourself some truly throwbacky color combinations. But I like the idea of doing it in a completely monochromatic gray, so like all different shades of gray.
Yeah,
for the different colors. I think it would look so good. I don't even know the name of the cardigan because I didn't even pull my magnifying glass out. I was just showing you the pictures and telling you what I liked and what I didn't like, but I can't read the print without the magnifying glass.
This is the polychrome cardigan.
Okay. That's the one where I'm like, oh, if I could just like go to my local yarn store, I'd pick up the yarn and start it tomorrow. Like that's the one that grabs me. Yeah.
Right.
Also, anything that's not fingering weight sweater.
Yes. For articles, there was a good article about doing jogless joins in colorwork, like with charts, which is interesting. It was about moving the pattern segments up or down a little bit to make everything line up nicely. So it was interesting. So I think not a major hit for us, but if you like the non-traditional stuff,
it'd be good. I saw a lot of them they'd look great on my niece, like that color blocked one where you had the solid color on the top and then it had half color on one side, half color on the other side. Like Isabella would look great.
Oh yeah.
But it would not look good on me.
Yeah, I don't think that's my thing either.
Yeah, so
this was Interweave Knits Winter 2020.
Ta-da! So good.
Which just leaves us with literature.
Cool beans. I'm on book 6. No.
I'm on book 7. It's taken me 2 years to get there.
It's taken me 2.5 weeks.
You've inspired me to read faster. I'm actually like reading a couple chapters every night before bed, so I'm actually getting through it.
Yeah, that's fair. This is the Expand series by James S. A. Corey. I started it for the Tome Topple read along. Tome Topple is now done. But the Triwizard Tournament starts back up again for Task the Second, in which my school has been, Beaubaxon, has been assigned siblings. So I'm going to reread V.E. Schwab's Darker Shades of Magic series as one of them, and Three Dark Crowns, which is also about siblings, but I can't remember who Three Dark Crowns is by. So that's fine, that's upcoming. And then I found out about one called the One Readathon, which is the one readathon to rule them all. It's fantasy based. So I'm, of course, just for fun jumping in and just trying to see how many of the challenges I can do, which is generally how I do a readathon the first time around, is I just do it on my own. I watch the tweets, I participate, I don't do any official participation because I want to see whether or not I get into the spirit of it and really start to enjoy it before I officially sign up to do something. So I'm watching the tweets and I'm looking at the challenges and I really like it. And I am a big fantasy fan. So I'm enjoying, but that's super light and just what I can. Like, I'm not going to get anything accomplished for it, so I'm not super worried about it. Because I didn't plan for it. This month is very booked. That's booked? The best. But I am continuing with the Dreams as a Quarry series. I finished book 5 just before Tom Topple finished, which is good. That gave me 5 books over 500 pages each. That's a lot of book.
Oh, that's a lot of sweater. Oh, I'm cold now.
It's a lot of book. It is a lot of sweater, but it's going to be so good when you're done and you're wearing it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fine. And I can't stop now. Like, I now I need to know what happens. Also, I want mushroom and onion steak and a coffee bulb. The hell's a coffee bulb?
I always imagine that it's sort of like, you know, one of those scientific instruments where it's got like the bulb thing and then like the big like straw bit where you like distill liquid and it goes up the spout and drips out over here.
Yeah, it's got a fancy name. I know what you mean though.
Yeah. I imagined it looked like that, but like a black rubber plastic sort of a thing. That's probably not at all what it's supposed to look like, but that's what I imagined.
Yeah. Where it's just like, wouldn't you do that? I don't get me wrong. 6 books in, I'm still absolutely delighted that they've made just about everybody plant-based. We went into space, and guess what? We couldn't take the animals with us. So you get yeast, you get soys and tofus, and you get vegetables that we can produce.
I want to know what red kibble is made out of.
What is red and white kibble? And is it tasty? I
imagine it's made out of like TVP or something.
Maybe, but that doesn't mean it's not tasty. There's so many questions in my life. So many questions in my life. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want the fungal beers or breweries or that.
I definitely want to try those.
No, I don't want to try those. But red kibble, white kibble, the mushroom and onions steak. Because I feel like if we've gone into space and we've gone mostly vegetarian, we'll have mastered a mushroom and onion steak. And it'll be dang tasty.
One would hope.
Dang tasty. Well, if a Marine's eating it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I have faith.
It's gotta be pretty good then.
Gotta be pretty good, right? So I got faith. Like if you go into battle and you go to work, you're not gonna stop and eat bad food.
No,
not by choice anyway. So like those sorts of things, I'm like, what's a coffee bulb? Like there's some things I'm not too like. I have no actual interest in traveling in space. I'm not.
I'd do it if it was as normal as flying is right now.
No, I don't. But I don't like flying. So
you probably really wouldn't like space then.
I really wouldn't like space that way. Like I could, like if I had to, I would. But I'd only be making the one trip, and I would not be. No.
One way.
One way.
Only
like,
once.
If I had to go to like Luna, that's it. I'm done. I'm stopping at the moon, and I'm never coming home. Like I'm just no. Buckets of no.
So fun. You can just bounce around the moon.
Yeah, and the playing with gravity. I also love that everything's done in metric.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Metric. All the way. Slightly just like jarring the first couple books because I'm not used to thinking in metric for everything because I read a lot of American books and they're in centimeters, like they're in feet and inches.
Yeah.
So I'm used to just flipping in my brain, so not having to is kind of weird because right down to the description of the height of characters, it's all done in centimeters. Well, that makes sense.
So it is.
Yeah. In meter heights. It's not done in feet and inches.
I just got right into it and I didn't even notice anymore.
Yeah. Or they'll have like little descriptions, like they'll describe something and my brain will be like, that's not what the planet looks like. Oh, wait. There's been some geological changes because of stressors from the human population. Now it makes sense. and just some of the social structures and stuff. So I'm super excited for a lot of the human part of the story. So and also super attached and all the feels.
Yes.
So much drama, and I need to know how it resolves. Somebody just texted me. So, that's fine. But yeah, I'm not going through as fast as I was. I'm still going through pretty quickly because I'm still quite attached and I need to know what happens.
I might not fall too far behind then.
Might not. I am now trapped until I get more Audible credits, which either is next month or when I cave and buy more.
Okay. I finished Invisible Women, Data Science, the Gender Gap in Data Science, whatever it was.
I think
Data Bias in a World Designed for Men. There we go.
Sure.
It's talking about the lack of women in a lot of data. And it was a fascinating listen and enlightening. Like, Carter safety is tested entirely with male proportion dummies, and
They have female dummies.
it's just scaled down men though. The proportions aren't redistributed for women. It does not have breasts at all whatsoever, and they don't test with pregnant women. It's also not required by law. And also, if they test with female dummies at all, it's usually with the woman in the driver's seat, because usually if there's a man and a woman in the car, the man is driving. It's just stuff like that. Just like, why? Okay. So it was eye-opening. It's fascinating.
Okay.
But I finished that. And so now I finally caught up on all of my automatically downloaded library books, and I'm back to Consider the Fork. I was learning about food processors today. It's making me want a better food processor, because I have a really cheap one that's really irritating to clean.
Oh yeah, no. I think Kitchen is one of those ones where you get what you pay for.
So, I think I might need a better food processor now.
I don't have one. I keep thinking I should get one.
They are handy sometimes.
I've tried some other, like, I love my dehydrator. Oh yeah, and dehydrate some pineapple tomorrow. I love my dehydrator.
Like, see, I've never felt the need to dehydrate anything.
I like to make soup mixes, because go figure, Justin can't have pre-made ones. It's everywhere. I like dehydrating mushrooms for them, because you can make a dehydrated mushroom soup mix and put it in with wild rice and stuff.
Oh, that
and
sounds
then
good.
when you want to make it, it's already prepped in a jar, ready to go. It's got all your dehydrated veggies or whatever in it, and you throw it in with your broth and you boil it up and you have soup.
That sounds delicious.
And then you can have like a 15-20 minute 30-minute meal thing ready to go when you get home and you really don't want to spend 45 minutes to an hour cooking, which I have to do on a regular basis. It's all about making my life easy, because I'm lazy. Alright, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Cool beans. In which case, I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. I need to find out if that was my opponent texting me. Hit the stop button!